did at the MAM Awards, read 10 names or 15 names,
yeah,
and then applaud at the end, get them all to stand and wait once they've got the certificate.
So what still needs to be done before next week?
We have to go through the paper plates, cups.
We can do that later. We've got to clear out the
What are the paper
boxes.
plates and cups for?
In the black boxes. We need to pack a box to take to council.
Okay, so FReeZA in general is basically an organisation that supports young people, I suppose. Well, I see it as young people getting involved in their community.
FReeZA began in 1997. It was basically set up by the state government and effectively it's funding for youth entertainment, all ages, drug and alcohol and smoke-free entertainment.
FReeZA is about organising arts and cultural events for young people, but FReeZA mainly also focuses on music events and promoting young artists.
Those groups, majority of them are run through a youth services department of a council. So there's typically a youth worker that would head up that youth committee of young people, and typically there would be between sort of 8 to 15 young people on a youth committee.
Obviously myself as a worker is with the young people at all times as a guidance for them, but they're run initially by young people.
When we first started in 97 there was about 7 groups and it grew to 14 groups over a couple of years, and as I said before, now we're at 77 groups, so it's certainly sort of expanded over a number of years.
Our popcorn group is, you know, kind of like a social time, but also a time where people can give back to the community in a fun and meaningful way that also lets them develop new skills. So that's kind of, in a nutshell, kind of what we're about.
So there were 7 popcorn young people, there were 4 staff, there were 3 councillors, there was a mayor, there was the Shadow Minister for Youth and his PA. I'd like all those staff.
The very first step we take is deciding what event we want to run. So generally we start planning for our events the year before. Sometimes this is even before we found out we have funding or not. Although it may be seen as getting young people's hopes up, we like to have things sort of in place before the year starts. We ask the young people what events they would like to have, and that's the first step. And from choosing the events, they're then involved in all the planning and development, and then the running of the night as well.
So our main events are the Battle of the Bands, and we have 2 heats and a final. Then we also have the art exhibition, which is the Expressions of Young Artists exhibition, but then we also do a National Youth Week event, and for the last 2 years that has been an awards ceremony that helps recognise the achievements in different areas of young people in the community.
Well, I guess a majority of FReeZA events are music events, so typically it's either a live band event, a rock event, or it could be the other popular event is like a hip-hop dance party.
We probably get more support in the events that are art and cultural events, because young people will bring their parents and family along, as opposed to the Battle of the Bands where young people might actually come themselves.
There's been more and more local governments wanting to apply for the funding and start groups, so that because they've identified a need in the area for groups to begin. So
we do get support from other agencies and organisations too, and try and build as many partnerships as we can.
The support's really come from the media in many regards, so the local print, radio and online media have sort of picked it up, and it becomes a really good news story to profile young people doing something positive. So that's been really well supported by the media too.
It's about community involvement, how being involved in your community can benefit you, and how doing small things in your own community can affect the global or international community.
Cool. When was that, Sarah?
I've been in FReeZA for about 3.5, 4 years now, and I think it has been the most beneficial thing that I've ever done. It just gives you such a confidence boost, and it just makes you go, wow, I can be involved, I can do this, and you can, you know, get involved, and it gives you the confidence to achieve not just in FReeZA but also outside of FReeZA.
The reasons for young people volunteering vary. Some may be as simple as wanting to be part of something.
There's a lot more preparing than what people think there is. Like a concert, people don't just go, oh bam, we're going to have a concert and that's it. There's like months and months of planning that go into that concert.
They may not have any other curriculum activities that they're involved in. Other young people would have the interest of background. One young person in our committee is really interested in sound and lighting.
And it gives him the opportunity to work with people that are specialised in that area.
You know, there's a real spread of different sort of jobs and things that young people can get their teeth into.
The FReeZA Central program's been running for about 7 years, and so the push has been involved since its inception.
FReeZA Central, it's basically, sounds like FReeZA, but it's a little bit different. Basically, it's the next step up. So once young people have had a crack at being on a FReeZA group for a year or two, if they want to take it seriously and get a career in the music industry, then FReeZA Central is for them.
There's 2 core components. There's the workshops, so we run 8 workshops every year, and within those 8 workshops, 5 of them cover the 5 regional areas of Victoria.
Once they've done some workshops and had some free accredited training, they can move on to the mentor program. And that's really unique in the way that what we do is we select 50 young people and buddy them up with 50 mentors from the music industry in their chosen field.
So that lasts for 6 months, and the participants of the mentoring program come from those workshops.
They also get to work on a few different projects in FReeZA Central. We do a tour, so we'll go and visit some regional areas and put on some shows, and the mentee and the mentor get to work together on that, so a bit of real life experience.
We have 5 different streams that we classify the different jobs that are available in the music industry, which these streams run across both the workshops and also the mentor program. So those streams are music business, which covers record labels, publishing companies and so forth. Technical, which is obviously, you know, recording, live sound. There's also the performance stream, so that's pretty obvious. And we've got marketing and publicity, which beyond the obvious also covers working with media, so radio, print, online, that kind of stuff. And then we also have the event management stream.
We also do a CD recording project, so they get to experience putting that together, marketing a product and putting a product out, and working with a bunch of young artists as well, who in turn get the experience of recording in a professional studio and sharing a space on a CD that's being distributed and marketed.
Mentees come into the program, the mentoring program, through one of those 5 streams, and it's the same at the workshops. At the workshops we offer those 5 streams to young people to do like a specialist sort of class within the workshop.
I think typically when young people have spent some time in FReeZA through the years, they've looked towards tertiary education and qualifications, and also looked towards, I guess, informal kind of just work experience or work placements within their chosen field. So FReeZA Central kind of formalised that and gave them an avenue to be part of a government program, which will get them a qualification.
It's a great way to network, make contacts and potentially find work in the industry, which is really hard to do.
It's basically open to anyone for FReeZA. It's 12 to 25 in most cases. For FReeZA Central, the workshop components are 12 to 25, and then the mentor program is 18 to 25.
We sometimes have younger people, sometimes we have a few older people too, and that's fine. But there is a cut-off for the for the mentoring program, should I say, and you have to be between the ages of 18 and 25 to be a mentee in our mentoring program. We've got a lot of kids in the program this year that are involved in FReeZA groups throughout Victoria that are involved in the program. So it doesn't matter where the person is in Victoria, if they can make it to a workshop, they can apply for the mentoring program, and we cover their transportation costs and so forth, so they can come and be involved in all the activities that happen in the city.
Depending on what area you're from, the normal way to go about it would be to contact your city council and just ask to be connected to your youth services, and youth services will put you onto somebody that is in charge of FReeZA and will let you know how you can be involved when the meetings are.
Go and volunteer and be part of an organisation and work your way up as being a volunteer as well.